Hey everyone, and welcome back to another edition of the Dark Match. This week we're talking about WWE's programming, Raw and SmackDown, and how bleh they were. I am your humble host, No Leaf Clover, and joining me tonight are...
I'm Teefus, and go die in a fire!
I'm the Lone Warrior in padding. Hey!
And I'm the fat one, Subrick, and I'm here to let you all know what the Iron Sheik is tweeting this week. Ahem. Tiger Woods' wife looked like Yoko's son ass after he dumped her with no money. The Tiger fucked dead goats for fun.
Ew.
Wait, what?
It's basically him saying that Tiger Woods fucks dead goats.
I don't get it.
What?
Necrobestiality, another Dark Match copyright.
We've covered that before.
Well, let us begin, because we're talking about WWE's really mediocre programming this week, and considering we're so close to WrestleMania, you'd think that they would step their game up a little bit.
It's a show before the go-home show. It's always like this.
Yeah.
It's everything goes into a fucking holding pattern and nothing really happens and you just gotta
they're in the
deal
home
with it.
stretch. They're in the home stretch to WrestleMania. They're not gonna fucking risk a damn thing.
But
Although at a house show, Sheamus got tore up pretty bad in Puerto Rico this weekend.
What?
There's
I
also-
didn't read about what happened to him.
He's bleeding.
Oh, like busted open bleeding or?
Hard way.
Oh. Ugh. Well, stitches can heal that up.
Stitches
So-
for bitches. What? You must have told
No.
me somebody.
Just a couple notes before it doesn't really relate to things, but there was that whole Cena was in the car accident of
Oh yeah.
day of.
Yeah. The
This
day
show-
of this Raw, John Cena got in a car accident, and I'm pretty sure that Vince McMahon had to change his underwear quite a few times.
Had
Well,
to change
and
his
the
underwear
thing
to
is-
get the walls repaired.
And the thing is, it was such a minor accident too. It got like rear-ended at a stop sign and at a stoplight in stop and go traffic, so it's not even a major thing.
Yeah.
It's just like any oh shit moment you can get right before WrestleMania. They're getting right now.
Yeah, especially since they've been building this matchup for a year, and
You know.
losing that match 2 weeks before it's supposed to happen, and losing all the money that's going to come from it, presumably, is
God, could you imagine?
considering that the ratings for every Raw between Elimination Chamber and WrestleMania so far have been really not that good for this time of year. I really would not be surprised if WrestleMania does not do that high of a number.
You know what it is, and actually, they just got the buy rates for Elimination Chamber back too, and they were pretty abysmal. They were lower than the last 2 years.
What
like
were they?
180,000.
Oh,
Ah.
how much did they sell last year?
285, I think, or 200. It was over 200.
Oh,
But the
Jesus.
year before that, they only sold 190. So.
but the fact that it went up and then just nosedived
And
again is
nosedived
not
back
a good
down.
sign.
I could be wrong about that. I'll check on that real quick.
I think the reason why the buy rate for that Elimination Chamber was so high was because there was probably a lot of people buying at the last minute since The Rock came back on the Raw right before it.
And look, a year later, and we can't stand The Rock.
Okay, yeah. Last year. Last year was 199, and 2010 was 285.
Oh,
It's dropped. It's steadily dropping.
yeah. Well, we'll get into all of this as we go along, because we open tonight's Raw from the Wells Fargo Center in Philadelphia in front of a presumed crowd of semi-mutants, since it is Philadelphia.
You can't prove that.
Well, Philadelphia is more smarky than other states.
It's
other
something in the
cities.
cheesesteak.
Which
Yeah.
they mention quite a few times tonight for cheap
Yeah, they do.
plugs.
Made me pissed off 'cause I'm still on a diet.
Well, one person fucking in particular mentioned it a whole bunch.
Tuesday.
I won't tell you who it
We'll get
is,
to
but
that. We'll get to
he
that.
has a weird eyebrow thing.
Yes. He likes to talk about Kung Pao and Fruity Pebbles.
And he likes to shove things up rectums for some reason. He's got an anal fetish.
Yes,
Anyway,
so-
they go into the show. They're hyping up an in-ring confrontation between Taker, Triple H, and HBK, and that Cena's going to be wrestling Mark Henry. Oh, and The Rock's going to be on the show. Duh.
You gotta wonder if the reason he got a divorce is because anytime he and his wife are getting intimate, he pulled out anal beads and went, "I'm gonna turn him sideways and stick him straight up your candy ass." And she just got sick of it.
Jesus.
And she just got sick of it and said, "You know what? I'd rather masturbate."
Giggity.
Damn it! That didn't break Jess.
No,
It's
she
not
only
nightmare
gets.
fuel.
When we talk about-
No,
when we-
no. Look, we're not doing this again. No.
Yes, we are.
No. We go to the ring and out comes Punk.
And when he talks about it's clobbering time, he certainly means something else.
Stop it! Punk is in the ring and he says that Jericho's not in the arena tonight. And he says that's probably a good thing because he really pissed him off after his little stunt last week.
Yeah, he had to go punk his Brewster 5 times that night.
Okay, guys, that's enough.
Yes. CM Punk talks about how he's naked under a microscope. That's all I need to say.
Yeah, he brings up his dad and how Jericho was quick to bring up Punk's father's alcoholism, and he says that that's not for Jericho to talk about, or it's none of his business. And Punk says, all he's trying to do is get an advantage over me. It's not going to work. And that if he says that if there is a monster inside of him, well, we're going to see that monster at WrestleMania because it's going to stomp the crap out of Jericho.
Funny how he says crap, considering in 5 minutes he's certainly going to be saying a different form of that.
Oh, yeah, he's going to be saying a lot more.
Yes, that's not a PG moment, Phillip Brooks.
Somebody's got a 3-second tape delay.
So, Punk drops his pipe bomb after saying he's going to prove that he's the best in the world at WrestleMania, and Chris Jericho comes on to the Titantron live via satellite, and he says he was out of line and he doesn't have any fancy jacket. This is Chris talking to him. He apologizes for talking about Punk's father, and he says he hopes Punk will accept the apology and that he'll never talk about Punk's father again. His sister, however...
Dun dun dun.
He talks about how his sister is a junkie.
Yeah, we kind of skipped over Punk's promo, which is basically how he basically talked about how proud he was of his dad for, changing his the way he was living, and that it's basically kind of like he was doing one of his straight edge means I'm better than you promos, but he was doing it as a face, so it wasn't like as horribly dickish as it was when he was, say, leading the straight edge.
It was sort of like a this is straight edge kind of promo.
Yeah.
It wasn't really quite this is straight edge. It wasn't really quite straight edge society. It was kind of like, this is my fucking business, stay the fuck out of it kind of thing.
Yeah, it was more like, okay, you want to go there? Fine. You go there, and I'm going to beat your fucking face in.
Yeah.
That's what I got from it.
Yeah, it was much more succinct, much more stay the fuck out of it. I'm only going to address this as much as I have to. And you have no right to force me to address it.
And once Jericho brings up his sister, you can just tell that he lost. It was like, that part of it, that it was an act, but at the same time, you wonder how much of it was an act.
Well, does his sister really have a drug problem? Because I've never heard about that.
He has two sisters, so
one of them could, but
I know one of them doesn't. Just the way he talks about her.
Yeah, but basically he says something that the censors pretty much block out immediately.
Oh
and
my
says
goodness. How could you say that?
That is most certainly not PG.
Basically says he's gonna beat the shit out of Jericho when he gets his hands on him.
He says, Jericho, you're bullshit, and that's what I'm gonna beat out of you.
I really don't like that they went in this direction because I thought there was a lot more they could cover with the whole "I'm better than you, you're just a ripoff. Fuck you, I'm better than you." You know. I think,
it's kind of weird that they brought in the family aspect of it so late. I mean, they kind of brought it in like 2 weeks before.
it's almost like someone that makes decisions about these things. Cough, cough, wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Said I don't think this is enough to carry the feud, so let's add something to it. And it's just like, you know what? This is the kind of thing a sleazeball heel throws in there just to get the face champion's attention. Not so much. And this whole feud was started based off of the sleazeball heel's pissed off because he feels like the babyface champion's ripping off his act.
Yeah.
So it's like two different storylines in one, and I don't like it. Like, just pick one and stick with it, guys.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of get what they're trying to go for because some of Jericho's like best work in WCW was when he was ripping on Malenko and his on Dean Malenko and his dad, but it seemed like something that if they were gonna do this, it should have happened after WrestleMania, like to build up to the next pay-per-view, because Jericho would probably get another shot.
Yeah.
Or if he won the title, he'd
It,
use this to
it, would
try
be,
to.
it would be a great defense to get Punk off of his game.
Yeah. But now it's just like,
I think that's the direction they're going for. Is Jericho's mentioning it just as a way to get under Punk's skin?
Naturally, but I mean, it's like they cut off one basis for a storyline for another, almost. And
yeah, it ceased to be, I'm better than you. Here's why I'm better than you, and I'm going to kick your ass to show I'm better than you. And it became your dad jokes. It's a weird juxtaposition because we thought this was going to be the feud that was just about wrestling, and now it's something.
It's about family. It's about getting each other. And
And
you know what? I see a way they could have done it and kept it that way, and still incorporated this. Where if Jericho came out and showed the clip of Punk singing "Happy Birthday" to Mysterio's daughter, and said, "You like to do that? You like to rip me off? So how about this? I'm going to rip you off. Let's talk about your family." That would have been a great way to segue into it. But I don't. The way they did it just doesn't feel natural. It just feels like boom, out of nowhere, right turn.
Well, I think that tomorrow on Raw, they'll find a way to wrap it all together since it is the go home show. But yeah, that segment that's probably the segment of the night, and to most people it probably will be, but it to me it's tied with the end segment. So, but we'll get to that when we get to that. We have our first match of the show. We have Kane versus Big Show, match number 8,000.
Oh, come on, man. I mean, for as long as these guys have been in there, of course they're going to fight each other a bunch. And they're two big guys who know each other and work well with each other and can put on a good match between two big guys.
Yeah, remember when they were chain wrestling? That was
that was great.
That was Backlash 06, right?
No, that was a Raw.
That was a Raw. I remember they had a match at Backlash 2006, and I remember one of their matches around that time. I don't know if it was either the Raw match or the Backlash match being an actual chain wrestling match, which no one expected.
Well, this was shortly after King started going off the deep end with the May 19th stuff or whatever it was, and it broke up his tag team with Big Show and cost them the tag team titles. And Big Show was trying to get him, calmed down and thinking, hey, let's just have some fun. We're buddies. And it was working for a while, and then he lost him, and that's what set up the match at Backlash.
I'd have to go back and watch the Backlash match just to remember, because I haven't watched any of the matches on that show since the show actually happened.
Yeah.
So
the Backlash match was a much more brutal affair.
Yeah. Oh well. We have Kane versus Big Show, and the match goes like 45 seconds.
Yeah.
Yeah. And most of it, the entire point of this quote unquote match is to build more towards Big Show versus Cody at WrestleMania.
Yep.
And Cody does it in quite an excellent way by showing all of Big Show's embarrassing WrestleMania moments.
Again.
Yeah, but this isn't like this is a clip show kind of clip.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, it's just him showing all of the ridiculous moments that shows done at the big shows.
Yeah. And honestly, I love what they're doing with Cody. He's being kind of a dick. I wish they'd have him get more physical earlier on, but or hold it off until.
I liked him when he fucking beat the shit out of Big Show, but.
Yeah, but I mean, either start have him getting in cheap shots earlier on, or hold off on the physicality until the match and have him just dodge Big Show constantly.
Yeah.
It's a pacing thing, kind of like the Jericho thing. So it was a good match, a good short match, and a good way to continue the feud. But
I think the Divas match on this show was longer than this.
That's not a bad thing. The Divas have been doing better the last few weeks, even the Bellas. They have. You can't tell me they haven't, because we've all seen it.
So Kane wins from a choke slam, which there's sound going in one person's background.
Yeah.
So yeah, Kane wins, and Cody hits the beautiful disaster, which Cole decides to call the disaster kick. Yeah. So.
Oh, look, Cole messed up something else.
I think they might be going the direction of actually just calling it the disaster kick, since, he's moved out of the whole dashing or crazy gimmick.
That might just be a nickname for it, which is just as dumb.
Well, why not just call it the beautiful disaster kick then?
I don't know. It's Cole.
He's been getting more bearable.
He has, but it's
still Cole.
Yeah. If that's a name change for the move, that's a terrible name change. The disaster kick. That's really original. That's really creative.
At least the chick kick had a bit of a memorable quality to it.
The bro kick, I mean, that's kind of unique to being Irish. It's
whatever.
Yeah.
So what happens is Cody handcuffs Show to the ropes, and he gets a pair of boxing gloves to do his best Floyd Mayweather impression and pounds Big Show's face into whatever you pound a face into.
Cody Troll Rhodes.
Yeah, he was actually there. For some reason, they didn't show the more brutal-looking shots on replays.
Oh, I wonder why.
They just showed the shots where he just kind of barely grazes Show's forehead.
Yeah. Well, anyway, does anyone have anything else for this segment? Because I mean, that's pretty much all there is to it. Cody comes out and humiliates Big Show.
I got nothing.
So
that happens. We get the advertisement for John Cena versus Mark Henry. Is Mark Henry even healed?
Yeah, he is now.
It's hard to believe, considering they haven't let him rest for any prolonged period of time since he lost the belt and got injured back in December.
He got some time off.
They gave him 2 weeks.
Oh, for a groin injury, that might be all he needs. Because when I hurt my groin, all I needed was a couple weeks.
Didn't they say that it was more severe than they had originally thought it was?
Well, that's what he said. There was the reason they pulled the title off him is because they didn't think it was as severe as he was saying.
Yeah.
So.
Hey, if there was any one thing we got out of that, though, we got Daniel Bryan's excellent heel turn.
Yeah, but it is worth mentioning though too that since it's right next to it, Cody Rhodes is working injured right now.
He is?
Yeah, he's got I can't remember if it was this week or last week or something, but they were saying on his way out of the ring or the arena, he was starting to limp a little bit, and backstage he's been limping a lot.
So that's great.
So that's probably why they've not had him get too physical recently.
I really would not be surprised if many of the guys on the roster are working injured or at least really, really sore.
Well, apparently this is a injury that occurred back when Wade Barrett got screwed up in that one spot where 5 people got hurt. they took someone dove out the ring and everyone was standing way too close to the announce table.
Yeah, the roster is just so thin right now that they're just having guys work hurt, and
I wouldn't say it's thin, but guys are working hurt, but at the same time they're being smart about it too. They're not like
they're not overworking themselves at least.
And if you're gonna get hurt at any time and try to work through it, right before WrestleMania is the time to do it. Because they're pulling off on the physicality anyway.
Yeah.
Trying to keep people from getting hurt.
Anyway, we go from that to David Otunga versus Santino Marella.
Yeah. And once again, this match is just a promo, a segment for the tag team match at WrestleMania, which I don't think is even elimination.
No, it's not elimination, and it's going to be a huge cluster because with that many people in the ring, you kind of need it to be elimination.
Maybe on Raw tomorrow they'll throw in that it's an elimination, because if they have this match not be an elimination tag match, like you said, it's going to be a mess.
I don't think they're going to, because from what I understand, they're worried about the match taking too long as it is. So they're trying to give at least half an hour to all 4 main events, maybe even 50 minutes to the Hell in a Cell and Rock and Cena.
Oh, please don't let the Hell in a Cell be 50 minutes. Last time they had a 50-minute Hell in a Cell match, it was one of the most boring matches I've ever seen.
Yeah, but did the last Hell in a Cell match have Undertaker or Triple H, let alone both?
The one from Bad Blood 2004, that had Triple H. That was Triple H versus...
Yeah, it was Triple H and Shawn Michaels.
Yes. There was a post on the thread that Genghis made about it. He said that it was just take punches and lie on the floor.
Yeah. Okay. Well, you might be right about that, but again, it's kind of...
At least it's going to be a Hell in a Cell match that has a purpose behind it again.
Yeah.
It's certainly better than anything on that fucking Hell in a Cell pay-per-view, which by now you all know I hate.
We all hate it.
At any rate, just to keep things moving along, let's just go move forward. Oh, great. We have to talk about David Otunga versus Santino Marella.
David Otunga's been getting better.
He has been getting better. He's been showing more personality. He's actually got a character now.
Yeah.
They aired that David Otunga attorney at Raw promo later in the show, I believe.
Yeah. I love that shit. That's hilarious. Have you guys seen what he's been doing with that on Twitter? Like people are messaging questions like, "So and so did this. Can I sue them?" And he gives some sort of like bullshit response.
Yeah,
I swear to God, my two favorites. It was like the first one and the third one that I saw. I burned my hand on the soup at Panera. Can I sue them? And he goes, "I suggest you try a spoon." and the other one that I liked a lot was, if my boss tries to fire me for tweeting you while I'm at work, can I sue him? And he goes, "Tell him you're tweeting your lawyer."
I'm liking that from Otunga. It was only just like 3 or 4 months ago that he was bland as fuck.
He wasn't ready to be on the main roster. He hadn't. He just hadn't gotten to the point where he was comfortable on the mic in front of that large of a crowd, and I think he's really coming into his own now.
Yeah.
So I think we could see good things coming from Otunga in the future here.
I mean, his wrestling ability is still like, there was someone, I think it was Bob Doyle, that said on the forums that William Regal got so mad at David Otunga's horrible chain wrestling before a show.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so we may, even though he's the team captain at WrestleMania, we may not see a whole hell of a lot of him wrestling, just because there's a lot more better workers.
His character anyway. You get in there and do that. Yeah. You face him. That kind of thing.
Yeah, I'm just wondering what kind of, since it's WrestleMania and Dolph Ziggler is wrestling, and in the year since the last WrestleMania he's become a bump machine. I wonder what crazy shit he's gonna do.
Yeah. I just like seeing the development of the personalities. You get enough personality, you can kind of hide the fact that someone's not that great in the ring.
Yeah.
And that's and not saying that Shawn Michaels wasn't good in the ring at all, because he was, but you don't remember Shawn Michaels for being a ring technician. You remember Shawn Michaels for the personality, the showmanship.
He has had dozens
I
of
remember
excellent
him
matches.
being a technician.
Oh, he was a good ring technician, but the first thing that pops to your mind is the personality.
Yeah.
I guess.
But yeah, so moving along, just to keep things going, we have Otunga versus Santino Marella. We start off with them in a pose down. And the hilarious thing about this is that Santino Marella has on airbrushed abs. That's such a Santino thing to do.
Yeah. Now, you know what would have been great? I'm just realizing this now. I regret that we never got to see Eddie Guerrero and Santino Marella as a tag team.
Oh my!
Oh, God.
Just imagine the music. Santino.
That would be the best comedy tag team in a long time.
But yeah, getting on with it. Yeah, they have their pose down. He's got his spray tan abs. It quickly turns to fisticuffs. And for some reason, I can't get out of the Skype chat with my mouse.
Otunga beats him down. Santino starts to come back, and Laurinaitis and Teddy start fighting at ringside because that's what they do.
Hey, player, get out of my match.
And well, don't forget also, Santino takes out Johnny Ace's cell phone and stomps it.
Stomps it hard.
Yeah, and it's amazing to me how quickly this story got over with the crowd.
Yeah.
Because like this is getting louder crowd reactions than The Rock is.
Well, yeah, but that's really more of a sad commentary on The Rock, isn't it?
You would expect though.
It's not like it's getting the reaction that The Rock got back during the Attitude Era. This is more like The Rock is getting the same level of reaction as a GM feud.
Yeah, that's.
Well, remember a couple of weeks ago when they had Daniel Bryan versus CM Punk on SmackDown, and they had like the screw job finish or whatever it was, and they both, Teddy Long and Johnny Ace, got in the ring. They started arguing with each other. They were throwing their coats off Ric Flair style, and the crowd was going insane.
It's because people do kind of want to see Teddy Long beat a motherfucker up.
Yeah. Well,
I kind of want to see
Teddy gonna have to smack a bitch?
I wish we had Magpie here to do Teddy Long keeping it real.
Is it the... No. Crap. Abort joke. I forgot it.
But well, also this is a considerably better GM versus GM feud than Teddy Long versus Eric Bischoff a few years ago.
You know, I would love to see them both do like a State of Raw and SmackDown address as like kind of debate format, and Laurinaitis bows out of it and puts his substitute in, and it turns out to be Dave Chappelle. That'd be awesome, but that's way out there in fantasy booking land. So
Dave Chappelle hasn't been relevant since 2006.
Oh, he's still relevant. Screw you.
Okay, moving on.
Yeah.
I'll take this outside, player.
Otunga wins, and they threaten us with a Rock promo.
No, wait, don't forget. Teddy Long slaps Johnny Ace.
Yeah, we already covered that. They fought.
Oh, okay. We get The Rock, and I'm still, despite the stinkiness of the build for this feud, I still like The Rock. You probably will all hate me for that, but I still like The Rock.
We don't hate you for that. We just hate your opinions.
Don't forget, I'm also one of the few people that when they started doing the build for Triple H versus Undertaker this year, I was one of the few that wasn't immediately face palming it.
I don't give a shit about fucking The Rock anymore. I'm officially done.
Yeah, it's gonna. I'm sure when the match actually happens, I'll get sucked into it and like be enthralled by the match itself. But the feud, no. And that's the same thing with the Undertaker Triple H thing. The match, yeah, we know it's gonna be good, but Do we need to see this match up at WrestleMania for a third time? No, we don't.
Well, back in the 90s, we got Undertaker versus Mankind on pay-per-view 6 or 7 times.
Yeah, but that wasn't at the same...
And each time the matches were good.
No. That's different because this is WrestleMania. This is the streak. Part of what makes the streak special is that so many people have tried, and all of them have failed. Not the same people over and over again have tried, and they failed. Yeah, if you have, like, it's almost like kind of Tommy Dreamer versus Raven constantly for over a year. If it wasn't for some creative booking there, that would have gotten boring really fast. Yeah, okay, Tommy Dreamer's wrestling against Raven. Oh, he lost? Yeah, big fucking surprise. It's kind of a take on all contenders thing, and you can't take on all contenders if the last 4 years of this fucking special once-a-year match has been spent on pretty much Undertaker versus DX. And that's pretty much what it's turned into. And I get that they're trying to protect the Undertaker. They're trying to find a place where they can keep, their mega stars on there without, having people go, oh, it's Triple H versus some mid-carder that's up and coming. He's just going to bury him. I know I get that, but at the same time, not at this pay-per-view. Put that on some other pay-per-view. I would be fine with that. But Undertaker versus Triple H for the third time at WrestleMania. Undertaker versus a DX member for the fourth time in a row at WrestleMania. In the last 4 years, it's been sets of 2 repeat matches. It's like, okay, they're good matches. I'm not taking away from that. They're definitely damn good matches. But let's get some variety in here.
Well, if Sting had come to WWE last year, then none of this would have happened. So
yeah, well,
that's all in the past, and we can all blame Sting's stupidity for that. But yeah, so we have The Rock, and he's next to the Rocky statue, and he's talking about how as a kid he witnessed several big WrestleMania moments like Hulk Hogan and Andre the Giant and Macho Man Randy Savage and all those great guys, and how he came to headline in Philadelphia against Stone Cold Steve Austin.
The thing about that is with all the 380 stars you just listed there, all of them are dead except one of them just doesn't know it yet. That was dark. I apologize for that.
Darkest sketch.
It was dark, but it was funny.
Yeah.
Hilariously black comedy.
Yeah, so,
And Austin's off busy hunting on his ranch with Shawn Michaels.
Yeah.
But Rock then turns his attention to Cena, and he says, yeah, I'm going to be heading back to the arena, but I'm going to pick up a cheesesteak, and I'm going to turn that yada, yada, yada up his butt. Rock promo, he leaves to go to the arena.
The idea
I'm telling you guys,
the idea of The Rock sticking a cheesesteak up John Cena's ass is just funny.
I'm telling you guys right now, back before the PG era, Rock anal beads would have been the hottest seller at the merchandise stand.
Oh God,
I'm telling you.
I don't want to talk about fucking anal beads anymore.
I'll say this about this
Brahma
promo.
Bull butt plugs.
I'll say this about this promo. It was certainly better than Rock Concert 3.
Whew.
Although there
that's
was
not hard though.
No.
There was a post on the boards about that fucking show last week that is just excellent. I don't remember who did it, but it was Rock had sex with Cena's dead mother. Cena wants to shit on The Rock's chest for sexual gratification. At this point, they should both lose.
Yeah, I just honestly, when it comes to Rock and his promos, at this point, I would rather watch a 6-man tag team match between God, what was that band from WCW?
Insane Clown Posse?
No,
or, 3 count versus
3 count versus the Mean Street Posse.
Oh.
I would rather see that match than another Rock segment right now.
It was a lot more Rock than Dwayne Johnson though. So take that for what it is.
But I'm tired of The Rock. It's almost like X-Pac heat at this point. He's either Dwayne Johnson and he's not special, or he's The Rock and he's not evolving at all.
Well, I think it's more of the Smarks that are getting tired of The Rock because he's still getting
hell no! You did not just call me a Smark. Hell no.
The
Damn it, Subrick.
The internet wrestling fans that are getting more tired of him than the general crowds are, because when he comes out, he's not getting, roof blowing reactions, but he's still getting, he's not getting, Rob Conway reactions.
That's the thing, though. He's The Rock. He should be getting roof blowing reactions every time he comes out. Anything less, and it's like a letdown. It's like The Rock did not perform to The Rock's expectations.
Well, I don't think he has any expectations anymore, really. I mean,
no, he can go out there. He can go out there and drop his pants and dick slap the microphone 3 times, drop it, and walk off and be like, "Where's my paycheck?"
I think a big part of the problem was that they had him wrestle at Survivor Series. Because
I don't know if that's part of the problem, but
no, because they had been building it. They had been building WrestleMania before that. At least, they had been somewhat mentioning it, that this is, The Rock hadn't wrestled since WrestleMania 20 8 years ago. And they had him come back they had him wrestle at Survivor Series with John Cena as his partner, and the build for that match was terrible too. So,
dude, the build for all of this has been terrible, because they've been building to this match since before last WrestleMania, if you really think about it. All that.
I just don't care anymore.
Yeah, no one cares about it anymore. It's like, okay, we get it. You should have.
Okay, let's not say this. It's not that no one cares about it anymore. It's that people like us don't care about it anymore.
And I think a lot more people are just kind of sick of waiting for it to happen now.
What about the reports that there might be a rematch of it?
I'll fucking cry.
Worst mistake ever if they do.
Just let it be one match.
Yeah, that would be considerably better to just have it be one match, especially since they put out there was some dirt sheet that put out a report that said of potential WrestleMania main events for next year, they might do Undertaker versus Brock Lesnar, which I actually would want to see.
They've been talking about that for a couple of years now, man.
We should probably move on again.
Yeah.
So we have Daniel Bryan versus Zack Ryder, and Bryan, I've warmed up to Daniel Bryan as a heel. I was not in favor
Did you not love him as a heel, man? Haven't you seen any of his
when he was first starting as a heel, I was really against it because it just felt really awkward. But now that he's come into it, I'm really, really into it.
So go watch some of his indie work as a heel. You will fucking love it. You'll understand why there should have never been any doubt in your mind from the start of this that he would have been good.
No, it's not that there was any doubt that he could pull off being a heel.
Maybe we should let Jess
I know he could pull off as being a heel.
Let's give Jess a chance. You and I are dominating the show, and it looks like you're fucking suck asses. Yes.
No, I was just gonna say, I actually really liked the way that they turned him heel. The whole, it starts off as he's just like any other Money in the Bank winner, like when Punk cashed in on Jeff Hardy on his second cash in. I was like, yeah, he's a good guy and he cashed in on Hardy, but it's like, so the fans were like, dude, you're a dick, and it was kind of the same thing here. Maybe that's why I like it. I don't know, but
I thought there was much more sympathy for him in this situation, though.
Yeah.
But you are right, though. I think that the slow realization is what really made this.
Yeah, and just the way he slowly went from this guy who was just really happy to have the title to egomaniac prick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
But yeah, this. From what I remember, this was a good match.
Well, it's Zack Ryder, and despite his major drop-off since, they fed him to Kane, he still puts on good matches.
I don't think he's dropped off at all. I mean, he's still doing the social media thing. He's still getting, he's not feuding for titles necessarily. He is now. But he's been part of he's been part of central storylines the last several months.
The thing is that they're doing the thing where they they made Eve into a gold digger, and they're just before this, Zack Ryder was just like a lovable doofus. He's coming off as a complete idiot now.
I don't know about that. Have you ever had a gold digger get your claws in you?
I've never had a girlfriend.
Have you ever had a crush on a girl and you would do fucking anything for that girl even though you know she's bad for you?
Not really, because I've never been.
And she knew that and she took advantage of it.
Not really.
Yeah.
I'm remembering high school.
Yeah.
I didn't date in high school, so there you go.
Well, Subrick, I'm not trying to talk down to you or anything, but once you get in a situation like that and you've gone through it and you get past it and you look back and you're like, what the fuck was I thinking?
No,
you won't think you're such a moron anymore.
No, the thing is that it's another case of it's sort of like how in TNA nobody watches the monitors, so they showed on TV Eve saying that she was using Zack, and Zack just immediately fell for it by the drop of a hat.
He saw that. And, again, though, even if you know that's what's going on, even if you have hard evidence that that's what's going on, sometimes all it does take for her to dupe you back into it is a kiss. It's fucking weird, man.
The allure of sex will make a man do strange fucking things, Subrick.
That's
not even
sex.
sex. It's just a validation thing. It's like someone's naked. Well, there is sex. Yeah.
So Daniel Bryan versus Zack Ryder, and the match was good, even though it was like a minute and a half. They do their general stuff. Like Daniel Bryan does his shtick. Zack Ryder does his shtick. He does the face wash, which still looks fucking painful.
Yeah.
I mean, it looks even more painful than when Samoa Joe did it, because when Samoa Joe did it, at least, they didn't show the head wrenching backward when they got kicked in the face.
I like Delirious' head wash or face wash better. That's just me.
Yeah. It was, as I said, it was, from what I remember, it was a good match. Daniel Bryan wins after he blocks the Rough Rider and locks in and gets a little belt lock on. And that's pretty much all that happens, other than his usual, yeah, woo, my man.
Yeah, yes,
yes, yes. He's like the N64 kid.
He's like that woman from that movie where they're like, I'll have what she's having.
Oh, When Harry Met Sally.
Yes. Sally, I assume.
No, Sally had the fake orgasm in the deli in New York, and Rob Reiner's mother-in-law, who was the woman that did the I'll have what she's having, said the line.
I thought that was Linda McMahon.
No, that was in the WWE parody. In the movie itself, that was...
Yes.
Yes, that was the joke.
Yeah.
Oh. You motherfucker exploiting my density.
Hey, you said it, not me.
Moving on.
Oh,
yeah,
this guy doesn't understand
John
how
Cena
easy it is to
versus
get fooled
Mark
by a
Henry. Let's continue. Let's not make me look like more of an idiot.
Oh, well, no, there is something that happens right before this match. They announced that they're going to have Florida performing at...
Florida.
The saddest
it's Florida.
part is that
His name is fucking Florida. I don't care.
Wait. Let's consult the expert. No leaf? No, shut up, Jess. It's not that. I honestly think No Leaf is probably the most in tune with modern music out of all of us. No Leaf? Is it Florida? Florida?
It's Florida.
Florida. Okay.
You can tell the disappointment in his voice that he had to say that.
I know.
I fucking hate you guys.
But yeah,
dude, I was not trying to go for the
Yes, you were.
There. I was not.
The saddest part is that when I got in the car on Saturday to go bowling, I fucking heard that song when I turned the radio on.
By the way, we're expecting the next episode of Faker Than Pro Wrestling to cover Florida.
Just cover modern rap in general.
Isn't she the one that was all like, Lady Gaga's ripping off my style?
Anyways.
What?
Move on.
That's a different topic.
John Cena versus Mark Henry. John Cena comes out. Mark Henry comes out. They do their normal thing. And, yeah.
Cena hulks up, hits the big boot, does the poses, hits the leg drop, 1, 2, 3. Hulk Hogan wins, and
Brother.
wait, shit, wrong one. After the match, Rock's music hits, and he comes out, and you're thinking, oh, finally, they're gonna hit each other, fucking finally.
No, that's not a finally moment, since there's no point to having them fight each other before the match. There really isn't.
I know, but it would be better than just them cutting really shitty promos at each other.
Yeah, you know what?
I don't think
it would be something.
While that's true, Jess, at the same point, the reason they're not is to get that reaction out of people. It's like, come on, fight! And then when the match happens, you're like, yes, finally, they're fighting.
Yeah, the only physicality either of them have had with each other was when Cena FU'd Rock right before WrestleMania 27, and when Rock did the Rock Bottom on Cena at WrestleMania 27 and Survivor Series. That's the only physicality they've had in this entire feud.
Yeah, but Rock gets in the ring and he lays out Henry with a Rock Bottom, and then it's like they're trying to make it seem like he's sending a message, and it's more like, no, he just hit the guy that Cena just beat. What fucking message is this?
It was a slick Rock Bottom though, because Mark Henry, he got some airtime.
Yeah.
This is what you get. This is what you get for leaving the Nation of Domination.
Yeah.
So that happened, and that's all the Rock that we get in this show. And this is at like the halfway point, I believe.
Yay.
I'm such a badass. I can beat up a guy that just got beat up.
Yeah, really. That's the first thing I said. I was like, okay, so he wanted to send this big fucking message to John Cena, and his message was, oh, by the way, I can fucking beat up Mark Henry after you've already done it.
Yeah. And
so
on Twitter after the fact, he's like, man, Mark Henry's one tough son of a bitch. Fuck you, Rock. Go fuck yourself.
He didn't even hit you! You fucking pussy!
There's some more filler. They're talking about HBK being made the number one contender, or being the special referee for Hell in a Cell. They mentioned the WWE Divas on Extra last week.
We could have gotten Karma versus Beth.
No, Carmen's not ready to come back yet.
Yeah, she's probably not going to be back, but
she'll come back. It's just going to take a little while.
They go from that.
I'll say one thing about the fact that they have Maria Menounos. I'll say two things actually. One, Maria Menounos is an actual wrestling fan, so they have that. Two, it's better than Snooki.
I know Snooki delivered.
I remember that Snooki didn't do that badly. So
yeah, I was pleasantly surprised by her match, her part in that match.
I mean, I don't know if I really want Beth wrestling Maria Menounos. I don't give fucking extra up here. Give me a break.
It's Bethany versus Kelly and Maria Menounos, right?
Did you just say Bethany?
No,
Bethany.
Beth and Eve.
Wait, is it? I thought it was just a one-on-one match.
No, it's Beth.
Oh, God.
It's Beth Phoenix and Eve Torres versus Kelly and Maria.
And we all know that Maria Menounos is gonna get the win on fucking Beth.
Oh my God! Yeah, one of the title, yay! Shut up.
My soul.
Kelly
they're really and she's still the Divas champion, and they're still punishing her for something.
How long has it been since she's defended that belt? Elimination Chamber?
That was a really good match.
It was, but though good matches in the Divas division are 1 in 1.5 million.
So why couldn't we have Beth Phoenix versus Tamina for the fucking Divas Championship again?
Because Tamina actually got over, and we can't have a diva that gets over.
She has not
get out of here with that snarky smark bullshit, man. God, just stop with that. Fucking conspiracies that they punish women for becoming popular. That's a money-making investment there.
Dude, Tamina hasn't been on fucking TV since she lost that match.
No, but that's because she wasn't in the plan. It's not anything to do with, you're getting too popular. We don't want you popular. It's just that we're going different
I know it seems like a smarky thing to say, but when it comes to
it's really no. What it is they're going in a different direction, and it just happens to be at the expense of someone who was starting to get popular. I guarantee, Tamina comes back on TV anytime, and she'll still be popular. She'll still get that pop.
So why couldn't it be Tamina and Maria instead
because she's not Kelly Kelly?
Because for some reason they still think Kelly Kelly is the face of the new Divas division right now, and I don't know why. Don't ask me to explain it because it's dumb.
I think it has something to do with those giant, huge blue eyes.
And those tights with the pockets.
God damn it, Subrick! He just cost me a very good sexual innuendo joke. Those that deep vacuous crevasse of a pocket on the back of her shorts.
So now we have.
You ruined that. You ruined it.
So afterwards, we get the Miz. It's gonna be the Miz versus guy who beats the Miz, aka Sheamus.
Yeah, Miz is in the ring and he says that he still wants to be on Team Laurinaitis. You know, just because he lost last week, that's no big deal. He should still be on the team, but I'm on the team coach, and that he's arranged a challenge to prove that he should do it. And out comes Sheamus.
Hey, considering what happens on SmackDown, maybe he should have just gotten a mascot. That would have gotten him on the team.
Apparently, their mascot is going to be the Bella Twins. Quit hating on the Bella Twins so much, man. They actually had a good match with AJ the other day in the last couple weeks.
You're just saying that because you saw it live.
Well, there's that, but no, actually both their matches with AJ have been pretty damn good.
Still can't. Neither of them can talk worth a shit, though. They still can't. They sound like fucking wood.
Oh, I agree with that. They need to take acting classes desperately, but they're at least they're improving in the ring.
So we have Sheamus and Miz, and it's a foregone conclusion that Miz is going to lose because it's the Miz. But they have a decent match for the time that they got.
See, they also don't want to make their number one contender to one of their world titles look, like a chump by losing to Mr. I can't get a win if they fucking paid me.
No, it's Mr. I can't catch anyone if they put a bullseye on him.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's the scuttlebutt is that Miz is gonna probably interfere in the Sheamus Bryan match. I don't know why.
It would be weird.
Although
strange.
Yeah.
No, I was just saying that'd be strange.
Well, but I will say this: when was the last time Sheamus lost? Even just as a count out or a DQ.
In the last few weeks.
Well, what about for a pin or submission loss? I don't think he's lost since the beginning of the year. And
probably not. But do you really want to book your Royal Rumble winner to?
No, that wasn't what I was saying. I'm not saying make him lose because he's one of those guys that you can believe would have a prolonged win streak like this.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, Sheamus and Miz, they have a decent match for what it is. It's a squash match, and it's the Miz. So it's just as a way.
Miz went from headlining WrestleMania to bitching about not being on the card at all.
Yeah, it's a way to get a new thing for Miz.
Yeah, what I'm half hoping for and half dreading because of what it'll set up is that as retaliation for interfering in his match last year with John Cena and pretty much overshadowing him in his own title defense, he's going to interfere in the Rock Cena match and just fuck it all up. And
that's wishful thinking, because
that's not. That's only half wishful thinking because that will set up the rematch.
Sheamus wins, and it gets him even more over as a beast for WrestleMania, which is a good.
because the word on the street is that Miz will not be in a match, but he will have a physical part at WrestleMania.
We'll see what it goes like, because I haven't heard anything about... I've heard more about him interfering with Sheamus and Daniel Bryan, which makes no sense, than I have heard over him interfering in Rock Cena, which makes a fuck of a ton of sense.
Yeah.
But yeah, we get a replay of CM Punk and Jericho from earlier tonight, go to commercial, and then we get the most... I did not think that there could be such a thing as a more boring Randy Orton promo, but he cuts the most wooden, stiff, fall asleep promo I've seen in a long time.
It's really hard to enjoy a show with your... It's really hard to enjoy talking about wrestling with you, Subrick.
I'll be honest, I don't remember him cutting a promo. I remember Vicky coming out. I remember the Punk Jericho thing. I don't remember Orton.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't a big fan of this promo either. It was just kind of there, you know.
It happened.
Hey, at least they brought back the Mean Gene Okerlund interview position for it. That little that podium that they put right next to the stage.
Okay. Yeah, but Vicky comes out and she announces after the Orton promo that Ziggler and Swagger are the two newest members of Team Johnny, and they go to commercial and they come back and it's Ziggler and
Swagler.
It's Swagler versus Truth and Kingston, or versus
Lillian Garcia, everybody.
Truly high.
Boomy! It's Dolph Ziggler and Jack Swagger versus Kofi Kingston and R-Truth. It's another short match. There's not much to say about it.
Here's the thing, though, is that they start off the match, like they go to commercial during one of the team's entrances, and they come back and the match goes on for 45 seconds, and then they end. So what was really the point of the commercial break?
Ad revenue.
Yeah, money.
Yeah. Swagger and Ziggler win.
Did you just call him Swagler?
I said Swagger and Ziggler.
I thought you said Swagler.
Probably fucking did. Me no speaky English good, okay?
Spanish Lillian Garcia.
Oble Ime. Anyway, after the match, Vicky and Axana start fighting.
Where's Joey Styles when you need him?
Bye.
So yeah, we have that, and then we come back from commercial, and we get the main segment of the night. Triple H, Shawn Michaels, and The Undertaker. And it was good. I'll say it. It was.
Yeah. It was there. I didn't think it was great or anything, but it wasn't bad.
Yep, it was definitely on the show.
It was there.
I honestly thought there was a match after this, but apparently not. But I thought it was pretty good. Sean starts by coming out, and he talks about how he's always been a show stealer at WrestleMania, and he gets to do it again this year because he no matter what happens, he holds the end of an era in the palm of his hands. And he starts to go on, and Taker comes out, and Taker basically says, "Shut up for a minute." Good for you. You're the ref, but this match needs to be fair. You can't don't favor Triple H, don't favor me. That's not gonna happen. That probably won't happen. But don't favor me, don't favor Triple H. Call it down the middle. And Triple H comes out, and he goes on about how Taker needs to stop worrying about Shawn screwing him over because that's not what he needs to worry about. He needs to worry about Triple H because between the two of them, they've been in like out of 24 Hell in a Cell matches, these two have been in
18.
maybe not against each
19.
19. It's like they maybe not against each other, but they've been in most of them in one way or another. And that the Cell is where he basically goes to put things down, because that's actually kind of pretty accurate. Because didn't he wrestle? He wrestled Mick Foley in his
Second to
at the
last
time
match.
Yeah, what was supposed to be Mick's last match in Hell in a Cell. There was the Nash.
Yeah.
The match with Nash.
Match with
Nash,
Jericho.
the match with Shawn.
The really boring match with Shawn. The match with Jericho at Judgment Day.
Did he face Goldberg in a cell?
No. He faced Batista in a cell.
That was actually a really good cell match.
It was.
Bro, if you're looking for an underrated cell match to watch, go look for that one.
Yeah, he and Shawn faced DX as Hunter and Shawn faced the McMahons and Big Show in one. They faced Legacy in one.
And Spear Squad was in that one.
No, Spirit Squad wasn't in Hell in a Cell.
Yeah,
well, they might have been indirectly involved, but they weren't.
Oh yeah, you're right. You're right.
But basically Taker asks Triple H if he's really willing to put everything on the line to break the streak, and Triple H says, "Yeah." And they started getting in each other's face, and then Taker starts to leave while the other two just watch him go, and he stops, and he turns back and he goes, "Hey, do you remember when I said that Shawn was the better of the two of you? I meant it."
Yeah, he goes, he is.
Sick burn.
And the best part of this is that Shawn Michaels, when he hears this, he does this really smug smile. And when Triple H looks at him, the smile immediately goes away. And when Triple H looks away from him, the smile immediately returns.
I love Shawn. That's what I mean. You remember him for the personality, not the wrestling.
Yeah.
But
I remember him
that's
for the
the
wrestling.
end of Raw, and it was honestly, they had there was some good. The beginning and the end were good, but everything in the middle's kind of
Bleh.
it happened, and some of it was good, some of it was bad, but it wasn't. It was filler.
Oh, they're getting the show along to WrestleMania. That's what they're doing.
Yeah.
I'm predicting that's going to be my reaction to the Rock Cena match there, Jess.
What, just going through the motions?
The beginning was good, the end was good, but the rest was just filler.
Do you think this is really a match that needs 30 minutes?
No.
No.
How much time would you get? I'd give it 20 minutes. That's how much I think it needs. Like,
I mean, I get wanting to give them plenty of time, but this is Brock's second match?
His second match in 8 years.
Yeah, I wouldn't drag that out for very long.
Hey! Don't sell the Rock short. He's been training with Kurt Hawkins.
Are you serious?
Yep.
Oh my God! Don't drag this on very long. No.
The match is going to be, regardless of the shitty build, the match is still, from a technical standpoint, going to be good. It's not going to.
It's going to be better than Rock Hogan from a technical standpoint.
But it's not going to be as good as that match.
No, that match had really good build behind it, though. Plus, it was, back when not everyone viewed Hogan as just a complete dipshit. So
that's because that was one of the few times that Hulk Hogan was willing to do business and just lose.
Yeah, he put during that time when he was back in 2002, he put pretty much everyone he wrestled over.
And then he came back and he was like, "Fuck all that noise."
No, he put Hulk Hogan. Hulk Hogan put Hulk Hogan over hard. Yeah,
Brett's good, Brett.
He put Brock Lesnar over like the hardest I've seen Hulk Hogan put anyone over.
Yeah. Wasn't that part of the 2002 thing?
Yeah, that was when when Brock bear hugged Hulk Hogan into unconsciousness, busted him open with a chair, and Brock smeared the blood over his chest, and we didn't see Hulk Hogan for 4 months.
Yeah, that was.
Only I could not see Hulk Hogan for 4 months.
Oh, he almost.
Well,
but,
you don't. Well, as long as you don't watch TNA, you don't have to see Hulk Hogan again ever.
Hooray! But let's get to SmackDown before we drive our poor recorders completely insane.
Oh, they're fine.
No, they're not.
Yeah, so we get SmackDown.
I can hear them screaming from here. What are you talking about?
And I just block it out.
We get SmackDown, which as a whole was also just sort of okay, but we'll get along as we get along. It
was more okay than Raw, and that's not a good thing. I don't mean that in a good
SmackDown is generally the wrestling show, though, while Raw is the entertainment show.
Until you get into the final days before a big event.
Yeah. Well, we start off with Daniel Bryan and his insane yesing, and he's flanked by AJ, who, like, I like the thing that they're doing with it, where they're having AJ just kind of be like this wholesome, clueless girlfriend. And
she's not clueless. She's just an abuse victim, man. There's a difference.
What?
If you consider spooning to be abuse.
No, it's verbal and emotional abuse. That's what it is.
Yeah. Oh, something tells me that at the end of this, they're gonna have it be that AJ was just playing along the whole time and turn her into a full-fledged heel.
I don't know.
Well, she can play the heel.
Oh yeah, she can. But that's the thing. I'm not gonna count my chickens until they hatch on what they're gonna do with her. But for right now, she's kind of playing the girl that's kind of infatuated with this guy, and he's
a dick.
She's playing a high school girl.
You're putting labels on things that I don't think really apply too well.
I don't.
You keep using that word. I don't think you know what it means.
I mean, I don't disagree that she's kind of acting like a girl who's in
public school. You were about to say.
I was gonna say who's kind of got like that puppy love, like, oh, he's just the best. And then he turns out to be a tremendous douche nozzle, but she's still convinced she can change him.
Yeah.
Mm.
And instead he's trying to change her, like, no, you need to do this. What you're doing is dumb.
I thought this was a really, really fucking good promo.
Yeah.
Oh, it was. They start talking about, how, she starts going on about how, Daniel's, this brave, he's courageous and generous, and that as a vegan, his body's his temple, his mind and his spirit are pure, and he makes her feel safe.
Oh, and that late at night they spoon.
Hey, everybody likes spooning.
Mm.
Yeah. So
also we find out that Daniel Bryan is apparently a great lover.
Yeah, but that's after he leans in and whispers into her ear, and she looks at him and goes, "Isn't that kind of personal?"
Yeah.
Oh,
and also AJ calls him Danny.
Yeah, and he's like, every time she does that, I think he corrected her. He's like, it's Daniel, not Danny.
Don't call me Danny in public, he says.
Yeah, that's like calling War Machine anything other than
it's like calling
Power Ranger.
Yeah.
I was gonna say Jimmy or like something like that. He's gonna get me for that, isn't he?
Yes.
Get all of us.
Damn.
War Machine, if you hear this, I didn't say any of it.
I was just using it as an example. As an example.
I didn't bring it up. I didn't mention it. I stayed away from it.
Yeah, so Daniel Bryan mentions that he's going to WrestleMania, and that AJ says that that Daniel Bryan's going to make that big Irish brute tap out and continue on his path to become the greatest ever, which segues into Sheamus coming out and getting the term Danny Boy over.
Danny Boy. I love this feud.
Yeah. So, like, I've seen people that have been getting annoyed that there's no, like, personal story behind it. There doesn't need to be one. It's just Sheamus wants the belt, Bryan wants to keep the belt. That's all it needs. It puts more emphasis on the belts, which is really in a feud, title feud, supposed to be the most important thing.
Yep.
Yeah. So yeah.
But it basically, he's like, he calls him Danny, and Daniel's immediately like, no, it's Daniel. And the crowd joins, starts chanting, Danny, Danny.
And then Sheamus is like, okay, Danny boy, is it all right if I call you that? And the crowd immediately starts chanting Danny boy.
Who's that?
You gotta love Philadelphia. It's so junior high, but they'll just run with it.
Yeah, and he says, if he hates being called Danny, well, he's going to be being called former World Heavyweight Champion, too. And that at WrestleMania, he's going to boot his teeth down his throat. And that's pretty much it. But that's really all they really needed.
Yeah, so that was a good opening segment. It got heat on Daniel Bryan for being a douche to AJ. It got emphasis on the belt, which is supposed to be a good thing. It got the term Danny Boy over miraculously. And so we go back with Mark Henry, and I did not notice this when I was watching, but apparently it says here that he was talking to Abraham Washington.
Yeah. That was a really
That's who that
weird.
was.
That was a really weird sighting. I remember remarking on that and people being like, "Well, that wasn't Abraham Washington," but I'm like, "Yeah, it was."
No, it wasn't. You're just racist.
It's certainly not. It's not as weird as Michael Tarver just randomly, weirdly appearing in the backstage area during a Bella promo.
I did that during quite a few promos.
I only remember it during that one promo right before they went in to see Daniel Bryan and Gail Kim getting it on.
They had that happen for a month. It's like random promos backstage in a hallway, and all of a sudden Tarver's just in the back and kind of stops and just looks at the people that the promo is about, just going, what?
I'm on
Like a
TV.
random-
Holy shit.
Yeah.
So so Abraham Washington happens, and
Yeah, and we go from that into the first match of the night, R-Truth versus Mark Henry, and a Team Edward versus Team Jacob match.
No, there's a difference between those because in this feud, both guys are actually likable.
And only
This is
Johnny Ace.
likable?
And Johnny Ace only sparkles right after his shower.
Did you just call Johnny Ace likable?
You take that shit back right now.
As a character,
He's not likable as a character.
No. I mean, you can no, whatever. You can appreciate the fact that he got over quickly because it's just so much fun to hate him.
Oh yeah, I'm just saying.
It's
He's
not
not
really getting over. I think people
particularly
legitimately
likable
do
as
not
a
like Johnny
character.
Ace, and the more they try to feed into it, like it's like, oh, he's over, and just like everyone's like, no, he's not. Get him off my TV. That's my take on it, though.
No, except that whenever he's on TV, though, he does something really hilarious, like doing the Santino trumpet.
Yeah, or his just complete stone-faced expression when Punk was about to hit him with that
Yes.
go to sleep. Because I
That
do
was a
not
dick
give a.
move, is what that was.
That was hilarious.
It was funny.
It was sort of
because
like
it was a
I'm
dick
okay
move.
with this.
No, he just completely fucking no-sold his finisher.
Yeah.
I don't think he was trying to be funny. I think he was just trying to be a dick.
Well, it was
But-
unintentionally hilarious then.
Again, that's why it was funny. He
Oh,
was
we
being a
cannot forget him doing the Teddy Long shuffle.
But at any rate,
That's just how he rolls.
This was it was an all right match.
Yeah.
Not really that much to say about it. Mark Henry wins. And they really try to hype the fact, oh, Team Johnny's got, Mark Henry, how are they gonna lose? And that's actually kind of what from what I remember, or what I remember them doing for most of these Team Johnny versus Team Teddy matches is, oh, Team Johnny has, so-and-so. He's awesome. How are they going to lose? And it's just kind of I don't know if they're just telegraphing that they are going to lose, or if they're going to swerve us and have them win anyway.
Yeah, we'll get to the predictions later. But
Yeah.
We have
This week, actually.
We go to commercial, we come back, and we learn that the newest inductee into the WWE Hall of Fame is none other than one Yokozuna.
I was shocked he wasn't already in there.
Actually, so was I.
I did find it kind of funny, though, that in his Hall of Fame package, they cleverly forgot to remember that he lost the belt 30 seconds later to Hulk Hogan at WrestleMania.
I don't think anyone wants to remember that.
Yeah.
That's
right after they showed that, they showed a clip of, him right after he won the belt at King of the Ring against Hulk Hogan.
I think they have no problem showing Hogan getting beat.
Yeah. Well, here's something that I found just kind of weird that they hadn't really done before in these video packages. They blur out the Attitude Era logo, understandable. But now they're blurring out the New Generation logo, and they're blurring out the old WWF logo from the early 90s.
They are?
They are.
I did not know that.
If you watch that Yokozuna Hall of Fame package, every time they show the New Generation logo and the old WWF promo from 1990 to 1995, it's blurred out. I don't know why. They never blurred it out before. Maybe they just want people to forget the New Generation era, if anyone still remembers it from that, if they're under the age of 20.
They could. Maybe it's just who knows. But after the Hall of Fame, after that, they go backstage to or they start to talk about Zack Ryder's big rally outside of Raw to try to get onto Team Teddy. And they go into Teddy's office where he's got Santino, he's got Kofi, and he's got Exxon in there. And they're watching it. And Ryder comes in and he's like, "Hey, bro." Or it's like, "Hey, broski, am I on the team?" And Teddy's like, "Well, it was a good, it was a good rally, but I'm still kind of worried, the whole thing between you and Neve." And Ryder says that, "I've got another reason why I should be on the team." And he brings in Hornswoggle.
Yes, Hornswoggle is the team mascot now, complete with a flag with Teddy Long's face on it. And then Teddy Long then says, "That's still not enough." And so he brings in the Great Khali with a Zack Ryder shirt and broski shades.
I could have sworn he had the wig on.
No, he had the headband on, not the wig.
Yeah, he slicked his hair back.
Yeah, but Khali comes in and he goes, "Woo, woo, woo." And Teddy's like, "Dude, you're on the team. You're on the fucking team."
Which just leaves the question of who is this last guy that they're going to get. Because we know that the last guy on Team Johnny is going to be Alberto Del Rio. So,
actually, Del Rio said, I think that he recently said in an interview he's not going to be on the team.
Well, then there's no one else I can think of if it's not Del Rio. But Del Rio's healed. So who else?
They might last second put Miz on. Who knows?
With the direction they're going, that's extremely unlikely.
They've done weirder things.
Well, who do you think is going to be the last guy on Team Teddy then? Because I can't think of one person. If Evan Bourne didn't get hurt, I would have thought Evan Bourne. But he fucked his ankle up, so he's out of the question. And there's no one else I can think of that will be that last spot on Teddy's team.
Yeah.
Then they'll either, take it down a person, or they'll...
Yeah, McIntyre would be a good one for the heel team.
Was he even on the show last week?
No. But he's got issues with Teddy, and Johnny's showed a favor to him. So.
Oh, that's for Team Johnny. Who would be for Team Teddy then? Because if all else fails, it's a really long shot that they might do this, but they could bring someone up from FCW. It's an extremely long shot, but they could bring up someone like someone that they brought up from that they've done house shows with, like Claudio Castagnoli, like Tyler Black, or
Well, it would have to be
Dean Ambrose.
somebody. I almost kind of want to say they'd bring back Morrison. But we probably would have heard something about that.
He just did an independent show in Waterbury, Connecticut last night, so...
That doesn't mean anything. That's not next weekend.
Yeah,
I'd have to look at what indie dates he has booked.
Yeah,
I'm not saying it is him because I don't think it is. I'm just saying just because someone does an indie show the week before WrestleMania doesn't mean anything. I mean, Rob Van Dam was kind of out of left field for that Royal Rumble.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I wasn't talking about, that was just, a long shot more than anything. Just the kind of...
What about Albert?
No, Lord Tensei, that's going to be the night after.
Yeah, that's not for the face team either.
Yeah. So for Team Johnny, either Alberto or Drew. For Team Teddy, no clue.
Well, I meant like Albert, like A-Train.
No, they're not bringing him back as A-Train or as Albert. They're bringing him back as this Lord Tensei guy.
Wait, that's who Lord Tensei is?
That Lord Tensei is A-Train with a bunch of painted on face tattoos. And a shaved back. Think about this. He has, if you've watched any of his Japan work since he left WWE in 2004, he has gotten way better. So...
Why can't they just have him be Albert?
Nobody will remember him.
Here's something. When they brought back Jamal, would you really have wanted them to bring him back as Jamal? They brought him back as
There's nothing wrong with A-Train or Albert. And everyone's gonna fucking know it's Albert. And they're gonna do
No, because there's a whole new generation of kids that have never seen stuff from 2000, from when he came in 1999 to 2004 when he left. There's a whole new generation of kids that have never heard of Albert or A-Train or Test and Albert or anything like that. So this is going to be a new way to expose him. It's like how when they brought Jamal back as Umaga. I mean, it was a less of a time span, but
you know what? We're kind of getting off track here. The point is, Albert, no matter what he comes back as, he's not going to be on the face team at WrestleMania. Someone they could throw in there though is Brodus Clay.
They seem content to keep him in squash matches, which is stupid.
No, he had a 8-minute match with someone this weekend. Can't remember who it was off the top of my head. But he had an 8-minute match.
They might. It's possible. That would be fucking fun though to see. That would be fucking fun though to see this giant ass disco ball blowing from the ceiling. It's like the size of the cube that they had over the ring at WrestleMania last year. And
they could throw Justin Gabriel in there. Gold Dust.
There's a whole bunch of guys that they could throw in, but that they're not going to.
No, I actually think they would throw some of these guys in there. Mason Ryan out of left field.
No.
I'm not. No, Subrick. Differentiate between who you want to see in this match and who they consider to throw in here. Okay.
They haven't had Mason Ryan on.
That doesn't matter. They haven't had half of Team Johnny on the show for a while now. The only reason half those guys are back on TV right now is because they're part of this match. That's the return feud. Well, okay, they could have a bunch of other people return.
Christian just came back from injury.
Yeah, and I'm saying it doesn't have to be because they're off with injury. They could be just off television and just make the return with this thing. It doesn't have to be a return from injury.
Gentlemen, hi. I thought we were moving on.
Yeah.
I'm just going through the list here of people they could throw in there.
We don't care anymore. Moving on.
Okay. All right, let's move on.
We go on to our next match.
DiBiase.
It's AJ with Daniel versus Brie Bella with Nikki. And before the match, Bryan gives AJ a good luck kiss, presumably to enchant her with his power of awesome. And I'll admit it was a good match. Wasn't really expecting it to be a good match, but it was a good match. It kind of proves that the Bellas are at least improving in the ring. Outside of the ring, I still couldn't give two fucks about them. But they're trying.
Yeah, sometimes that's all that counts.
AJ wins with a roll-up. Insert Genghis Scream here.
Yeah,
although it was a way to get Bryan over again as this douchebag, because he comes in and immediately steals the spotlight.
Yeah. AJ wins and he's the one that's screaming, "Yes! Yes! Yes! Look how awesome I am!
Yeah.
I am the best thing that has ever been awesome."
Well, also during the match, he was screaming to AJ, "You better not tap out, AJ! You better not tap out!" As Brie applied this really awkward-looking chin hold.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, we had that. AJ wins, and we got to hear the Bellas talk.
Yeah, basically one of the Bellas, Nikki's like, you should have listened to me, and she says, my sister should have listened to me, but she didn't, and that we don't agree on a lot of things, because Brie is rooting for Team Johnny, but I'm for Team Teddy. And it's like, who cares? I still can't tell you apart.
The piped-in cheers and boos say all they need to have to say.
They go to commercial and they come back, and it's our second Team Teddy versus Team Johnny preview. Jack Swagger versus Zack Ryder.
I'll say something about Jack Swagger's entrance. This time it seemed like he was trying to channel Goldberg with his entrance. Like he was doing the slapping of the chest and the faces.
That's always been his intro, though.
No, he was like over-exaggerating it this time.
That's always been his intro, though. Every time I've paid attention to him coming to the ring, that's what he does.
Keywords being every time you've paid attention to him.
Well, I like his theme music.
If they got the real Rage Against the Machine, then maybe, but they got a Rage Against the Machine cover band, so.
They got the Rage Against the Machine that did DX's music.
No, they didn't get Chris Warren for that. They got a different one.
But okay. Going on to this match, it was again pretty it was. I don't want to say it was match of the night, but I think it was probably close.
It was good. Other than the main event, it was the longest match of the night, and it was a damn good match.
Yeah.
We got the normal stuff that you'd get out of these guys. We get the face wash, we get the Vader bomb, we get all that fun stuff. And then the way it ends is that Vicky gets up on the apron to do the distraction, and Hornswoggle gets up there and he starts slapping at her leg to get her to go down, and Zack gets the Rough Rider, he gets the 3 count, and Zack wins.
Yeah, and he wins, and he Hornswoggle gets in the ring and he starts waving the flag around.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not a horrible match, but nothing spectacular.
It's your typical TV match. So we go to
shits and giggles. That's all it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we get a recap of Cody beating up Big Show on Raw, And we go backstage to earlier in the day when Matt Stryker interviews Cody. And Cody says that he's had a great time showing everyone all of the embarrassing moments at WrestleMania that Big Show's had, because it shows that he chokes on the biggest stage of them all. And he says that embarrassing Big Show will be enjoyed, embarrassing Big Show by beating him in the face, and that Show couldn't do anything about it. And the biggest embarrassment will be when he beats Big Show on April Fool's Day at WrestleMania.
Finally, someone acknowledges it.
Yeah. So that happens.
Again, I'm loving Cody Rhodes because it seems like every new feud he gets into, his character changes.
Yeah. Ever evolving. That's a good thing.
Yep.
So at least he isn't doing the bags over the heads.
I actually like that.
It got old quickly though.
For the time, it was workable. I mean, they weren't doing anything else with him. They didn't have anywhere else to put him really, so they had him do that.
So I quite liked when he brought back the classic Intercontinental title design. That I really liked.
Believe it or not, there's a lot of people that don't like that he did that, and I'm like, why?
It's
awesome.
It's an excellent looking belt.
It's beautiful. It stands out because of the white leather, and it's recognizable. It's classic. We all know it.
Yeah. Do you think they'll ever bring back that Intercontinental title design that they had before?
Which one?
The one that it was from late '97 into, or from
Basically
the time,
the one that he had before the fucking one he has now.
Yeah, from the time that
the one he had before.
Yes, I was saying that. Fuck.
Don't need the fucking time frame for everything.
Oh, you mean the big oval one?
Yeah, the big oval.
Yeah, they might. Honestly, I don't see a reason to though.
I see more when they finally tire of using the old Intercontinental title design from the early 90s, they'll make a whole new design that isn't this one or the big oval.
Yeah, but that's neither really here nor there. The fact is we got this one, and I think we're going to have it for a while.
Yeah.
So, anyway.
It's putting emphasis on the belts, which is a good thing.
Yeah.
We
go on to match number 4 of SmackDown, which is Big Show versus Kane again.
It was better than on Raw.
Yeah, it was I liked it.
It was a big man match, and big man matches are good when they do the right stuff in it.
When they have big men that know how to wrestle.
When they're more than 2 minutes.
Yeah, this wasn't 2 minutes. This was 3 minutes.
At least it's not the Octo Worker.
What?
You guys don't know about the Octo Worker?
No.
I don't want to know.
It's a Genghis thing.
Oh, I'd have to ask him then.
Oh, I thought it was going to be something dirty.
It probably is.
I guarantee you guys have seen it. And it's not
probably.
dirty.
It sounds like a really nasty sex toy.
No, it's a horrible independent match from a high school gymnasium with these worst, severely fat guys.
Oh, yes, I've seen that
Didn't they
one.
show that on Botchamania once?
Probably.
Yes,
I remember they showed a match on that on Botchamania once where it was like the first match any of these guys had, and the ring announcer asked, "Okay, guys, do you think that these people should come back to do more wrestling?" And everyone in the crowd's like, "Fuck no."
Yeah, that's it.
Octo Worker, it's called.
Yeah, that's what we call it, the Octo Worker.
Oh man,
I'm not sure which one of them is the Octo Worker, if it's just all of them or what. But anyway, getting back to this match, it was a good match because again, despite having seen this matchup several times throughout history, these guys know how to work and they know how to work with each other, and they're not lazy and they're both talented. So as far as big man matches go, I would not complain about this one because any other big man match you can guarantee is going to have its problems. These guys can even if you see it over and over again, they can deliver a good match every time they go up against each other. And they can change it up. They can chain wrestle. They can big man wrestle. They can WWE wrestle. So they can do a lot of different things with what they do.
Yeah. The match ends when when Show goes to finish off Kane, and a random shirtless guy gets into the ring, and it turns out to be Cody Rhodes. And Rhodes attacks the show. So Kane gets disqualified, and afterwards Cody runs into Cody, hauls ass to get out of the ring and shows, in hot pursuit, pushing through the security.
That was funny. That was funny. Like all the security is like, no, show, you can't run after him, and he's like, fuck you, and he pushes them all out of the way.
Yeah.
But
Oh, and don't forget, Randy Orton comes out and he gives the big red monster an RKO.
Yeah, that's what I was going to bring.
I think Jess was about to say that.
Yeah.
But to go to commercial, we come back, and it's Brodus Clay with the Funkettes versus Heath Slater. I'm just going to call this now. I think Heath Slater's going to finally win a match.
Yeah, me too. It seems like his night. It's his time.
Yeah.
It's going to catapult him into the main event at WrestleMania.
Yeah, okay.
At this point, though, to be seriously, though, I don't think that Heath Slater would have much of it would be able to beat one of the Funkettes, let alone the Funk Man himself.
Yeah, Clay, it's the standard Brodus Clay squash match. And I guess it's kind of good that they're just giving it to these really quick squashes for now. But I would like to see him do a bit more in the ring.
Well, apparently, like I said earlier, apparently this weekend they had him doing an 8-minute match with somebody. So, be prepared. You're going to get what you wish for.
And actually, before we continue on, there was something I was going to say about the Randy Orton build for his match with Kane. Like, there was something that Randy Orton said in an interview over the weekend that I just was mad at. And it was him saying that, there's 4 main events for this WrestleMania, and he mentioned Taker versus Hunter, Brock versus Cena, Punk versus Jericho, and he said, I think that me and Kane will be that last one. I don't know. Sheamus versus Bryan is for the belt, but I think more people are going to be interested in my match.
So?
He's wrong!
Plus, the build for his match with Kane has just been sucky. It's just
That's why he's wrong!
Yeah, it's been him giving Kane RKOs and cutting promos. Boring promos. Plus, Sheamus versus Bryan is for the belt. You'd think that would be a de facto main event.
Have they given a reason for Kane even being after Orton yet?
I think they did on.
He has to kill Orton to make up for having shaken Orton's hand 2 years ago or something like that.
Yeah.
That's a dumb reason. The
reason they give.
It's not a dumb reason. It's just poorly executed. It's a good psychological reason because he's a monster, so he has to destroy everything that reminds himself of his humanity.
Well, then
they're just not selling it well.
Kane, since he came back, is the master of having poorly executed reasons for having a feud. Because, Rise Above Hate was on a T-shirt. Therefore, I must make Cena embrace the hate.
I've seen worse reasons for a feud.
It's better than having him try to eliminate the hate.
No, eliminate the hate. That's the way he says it.
No, it's not.
Whatever. They haven't aired that commercial in a long time anyway.
Pancake the waffle.
That's because they got your piss poor Jeff Hardy impersonation.
Brodus Clay wins. We go to commercial. We come back.
By the way, just for the record, the match that was 8 minutes long with Brodus Clay was against The Miz.
Oh. Okay.
I assume
Bet you can't guess who won.
Not The Miz. I feel so bad for him. I really do.
Well, if they could have given
oh my God,
if they could have given Brodus' first 8-minute match to anyone, it would have been The Miz.
Yeah. I'm happy. I'm just happy that they're trying to get him to have longer matches. I just kind of wish it wasn't. I just kind of wish The Miz would get a win, even if it's at a house show, like a one-on-one win.
Anyway,
but we come back from commercial and Zach's in the back talking to Eve, and he's like, "Hey, my idea worked. I'm great." And she's like, "Yeah, we're going to WrestleMania," and he says that and Zach
so
goes,
smart, and beautiful.
yeah, and Eve immediately is immediately like, I am shocked that you didn't think I was smart? Well, forget dinner. Well, forget the dinner we were talking about. Screw you, I'm going home. And Zach's like, wait, what? No, Eve, wait, what the fuck?
And as Eve leaves, an evil smile comes to her face.
Yep.
I don't get what her plan is anymore.
She's manipulating. She's trying to turn him into a doormat.
Which he already is.
But you got to keep beating him down into that position. That's
He's
how the psychological.
It's like I said earlier.
That's how the psychological abuse works. It's the same thing with Daniel and AJ. It's got to be constant, and it's got to be constantly put in terms of you did something wrong, even though you don't really understand what you did anything wrong because you didn't, and they just act so upset, and you care about them so much. Why am I even fucking talking about it? Fuck you guys. We're moving on.
we get Raw Rebound, which for those that actually watch it and didn't fast forward through it, it was a well put together video package. They always put together well video packages. So there's that.
Somebody's earning his $30,000 a year.
Yeah. We come back and Christian joining the announcers. Did anyone else think that Christian sounded sick tonight?
No.
Like his voice didn't sound like he was all there.
I didn't hear anything.
I didn't notice anything either.
His voice is normally a bit higher than it was tonight. It sounded a little bit more hoarse.
Horses.
Maybe he has a cold. Or maybe his voice just got deeper.
Like I said, I didn't hear anything.
I didn't notice anything.
So we have Kali with Teddy Long versus Dolph with Johnny Ace Otunga and the Travel Mug of Doom. As it says.
I love the Travel Mug. They should sell those. Do they sell those?
I didn't see any. I only saw like 8 T-shirts at the fucking show I was at.
I'm waiting.
Like most of the T-shirts you see on the show weren't even on the fucking merch stand.
I'm waiting for when they start selling David Otunga travel mugs and it has his face with that big smile of his.
I'm waiting for them to start selling a shirt that has a picture of the travel mug.
I'm going to laugh one day if they reveal that what's inside of that mug isn't coffee. Instead, it's that green smoke that came out of the Undertaker's urn in 1994.
That'd be a great gimmick for a feud with the Undertaker. Like he's confronting the Undertaker. He's cutting a promo on him. He's got the microphone in one hand, the mug in the other hand. And while he's getting in the Undertaker's face, yelling at him and talking him down and shit, the Undertaker just reaches up and pulls the lid off of it, and green smoke comes out.
That would be cool. That would be more inclined, like if he was doing a segment with Johnny Ace in the ring, and David Otunga gets on the mic to beat him down verbally, and then the green smoke comes out of the mug. That seems like it would be more inclined for that instead of just like a David Otunga versus Undertaker feud.
Yeah, but the Great Khali versus Ziggler. This is stupid. I mean, I kind of get what they were trying to do with how it ends, but it was stupid. Basically, Ziggler gets offense in on Khali, but Khali eventually is like Khali starts to get the advantage. He goes for a clothesline and he hits the clothesline and he goes for the brain chop and misses, and Ziggler gets the sleeper on. And immediately the bell rings and it's Laurinaitis.
Laurinaitis calls for the bell.
Yeah, he calls for it immediately and he's like, the winner of this match is Dolph Ziggler.
Great Khali screwed Great Khali.
Yeah. And, so they leave and they're celebrating. Christian leaves with Johnny and David and Ziggler. And Teddy gets on the mic and he's like, what the hell are you doing? It's like, look, I don't roll like this. So we're restarting. The match is still going. And Ziggler has 10 seconds to get his ass in the ring. And
he doesn't.
And he's like, no, I'm not getting in the ring. I won. And so Khali wins by countout, I guess?
Yeah.
Yep.
And then afterwards, out comes Kofi and R-Truth, who grab Ziggler, and they throw him right back into the ring, so that he can get his a chop to the head.
Which he actually sold. He sold that chop really well because his head snaps forward, he goes back, and he looks like he was just killed.
Oh, he's an excellent seller.
Yeah,
Saying that earlier.
He went to the Mr. Perfect school of selling.
And of hair dyes.
Oh, don't. His hair. He needs to re-dye his roots blonde because it looks like he has a thick coating of mud under his hair.
He's going for that late 90s boy band look.
Oh, dear God in heaven.
Yeah, so...
I don't care who you are, what you did, as long as I can sell a head job.
What?
It doesn't matter who you are, where you're from.
Okay!
Oh, God.
We go to commercial.
Oh, God.
To our main event. CM Punk and Sheamus versus Daniel Bryan and The Miz.
Baby, it ain't no lie, baby, famous, sir.
My brother actually thinks that NSYNC is better music today than most of what I listen to, which is sad.
He's probably right, because I've heard what you listen to.
No, actually,
Ooh.
let's face it, we all know what the greatest boy band of all time was.
3 Count.
3 Count.
Nope, New Kids.
Lies.
No, that's not the joke. The joke is 3 Count.
I'm no selling your joke, it's New Kids.
Mr. Burt Reynolds, for your information, I listen to 80s heavy metal.
Like I said.
Um,
Anyway, getting back to the show, come on.
Yeah, as I said, if the Swagger Ryder match wasn't match of the night, then it would probably be this one, and it was
Great.
pretty good. But I think
anything that gets CM Punk and Daniel Bryan in the same match together on opposing sides is going to be good.
At least in theory.
Yeah.
Well, I've yet to see a bad match that these two have had, even on the indies. So...
Do we go over the pre-match thing with Daniel Bryan and Miz?
They're backstage, and Miz says that he wants Bryan to do this for everything that Miz did for him.
See, there you go. Miz is trying to weasel his way back in the limelight by latching onto the fact that he had an extraneous connection to Daniel Bryan in the past.
I trained you once. Don't you remember? Don't you remember?
And actually, the funny thing is as both of them as heels are very similar personalities, they actually would get along very well. So, take that for what that's worth.
Yeah, so we have the match, and it's good. It's a good TV main event.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing really that particularly stood out about it, but it was good. All 4 guys in the ring can still work a damn good match, and it did what it was supposed to do. It got Sheamus over. You know, Punk wasn't the focus of it because he didn't need to be the focus of it, and it got, you know, the whole point of it was to get Sheamus over more, which is you know, you're a week away from WrestleMania, which is always the good thing to do, is to get your challenger over.
Your face challenger.
Face challenger, yeah.
So anyway.
Yeah. So there really isn't anything we can say about this match except that, you know,
Go find it. Go watch it.
Yeah, other than that. But Sheamus and Punk win when Sheamus pins Miz. Go figure. And the show ends. And as an after the show note, John Cena came out and said and mentioned that Lillian Garcia, you're really beautiful, but you don't know what in the world you're doing, because she messed up the introduction for Zack Ryder. So he had Tony Chimmel come out because he said he knows what he's doing and had him introduce Zack Ryder again.
No, I'm still gonna go with Lillian Garcia on this one.
No, except that Lillian is known for constantly fucking up.
I didn't know that. Schimmel fucks up all the time.
No, Lillian Garcia in the report that said it.
The following contest is for the women's.
No, but
women's
what they
champion. Women's.
he put the emphasis on the wrong part of the word. When
He put the wrong emphasis on the wrong.
No, don't make that goddamn joke.
But yeah, Lillian Garcia, according to the report that said that what happened after the show with Cena and Schimmel, was that Lillian screwed up 3 times in the last month, and they had to dub over it on SmackDown. And I know there was the one that happened on Raw like a week or so ago, where Michael Cole spent a minute ranting about it. Because it's Michael Cole, so obviously. Yeah. But yeah, like.
Anyways, let's stop talking because I'm fucking sick of talking about this fucking show.
Yeah, both shows this week were.
They're getting close to WrestleMania. They're trying to keep things safe and still interesting. And it's a hard balance to do.
Yeah.
Expect this next week to be much worse in the ways of exciting wrestling and stuff.
Well, Raw tomorrow night is going to be talking, and SmackDown is going to be access. So
it's going to be promos and recap.
Yeah, SmackDown is going to be
promo.
Then promos,
yeah.
And it's going to be the free for all basically.
Yeah.
Yeah. But speaking of WrestleMania, since I'm pretty sure they're not going to add any more matches to the card, what do you guys think about doing predictions?
No, we do predictions next week.
Yeah, you fool.
No, but they're not going to add anything more.
No, you fool.
No, we do predictions next week.
Yeah.
No need to yell.
Yes, there is.
Yes, there is.
You're just grumpy.
Anyways.
Stop trying to reinvent the wheel.
Games show. Now it's time for everybody's favorite game. What gets more fucking screen time than Jay Lethal? I'm tired. I want to do something else.
John Morrison. It's John Morrison.
What gets more screen time than John Morrison then?
Abraham Washington gets more screen time than John Morrison.
The memory Teddy Long's face on it gets more screen time than John Morrison.
The Memory Remains by Metallica gets more screen time than John Morrison.
Was that even played this week?
Yeah. It was played on Raw, and then it was played during the recap on SmackDown.
AJ being just so gosh darn adorable gets more time than John Morrison.
Dude, it was her birthday last week. She went to Disney World.
Aww.
She had pictures up on Twitter. It was adorable. She was trying to pull the sword out of the stone.
He's so cute.
She is.
Anyways.
Today's my birthday. And the next tweet was like, yep, I can't. I'm so nervous about turning 15 next year in parentheses. There, I made the joke so none of you have to. So gosh darn cute.
That's going to do it for the dark match. I am No Leaf Clover.
I'm Teefus, and again I say Dynafire.
I am the fat one, Subrick.
And I'm the Lone Warrior, and I pity whoever's editing this.
I don't.
Oh, it's Backlash. Go figure.